Hi everyone, my name is Mikko Puikkonen from CREx, and today we'll be talking about how to use AI for fund management. Every quarter, there's just so much time that always goes into making the reports. In my career, I've always had very few times where I've really been able to focus on analyzing reports or analyzing data. Really, most of my time and effort has always gone into making those reports. And really at the end of each quarter, when the fund ops team have to go through different regular reporting requirements or perhaps questions from LPs, what's our Dallas exposure, what is going on with this particular fund or this particular region, that always takes so much time. There's also a mechanical risk of that there is so many systems where data is coming from, so many different reports and supplementals that you may need to prepare, that there's just a lot of opportunity for small errors and issues. So what we want to do with AI is we all want to be able to work smarter, not harder. That, our current 2-day process could be a question from an LP. We have analysts pulling different statements, reports from Yardi, other real estate systems. We need to do a lot of formatting and spreadsheet gymnastics to get there. And then we need to polish and send out those letters that all take time. And with AI, what we can do is take exports and paste them into a model. And an AI can quickly assemble, draft things for you to review and do calculations. But what you want to make sure is that it's always verified by a human person, and then we get that polished result out the door. So let's take just a quick example. And so I have Claude pulled up here. And so in Claude, I have a prompt created in advance. So basically what we are doing here is that, we're trying to tell Claude that, okay, what is the perspective we're trying to accomplish? So oftentimes it helps to state who you are or what you are. So you're a fund controller writing for institutional LPs, and we're going to paste a quarterly NAV bridge or a roll forward statement. And what do we want it to do? We want it to quickly draft a 4 to 6 sentence of professional commentary that explains the NAV movement based on capital activity. And we want to highlight if there's a dollar impact and what that is. But then we also want to always make sure we put in some guardrails around what we're requesting. Because otherwise, if there's no data given, AI is very notorious for hallucinating or inventing data. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that if there are data points that we did not provide, that it shouldn't speculate, but we wanted to mark those as a driver to yet to be confirmed. And that is a confidence booster and builder for us. So let's take a look at then the data set that we will paste in here. So I have created just this sample statement of capital transaction activity. For this sample would be for 2 different funds. There's some operating results, fund level activity, realized, unrealized items. And so let's just take this whole data set, no formatting here, just we do Control C, and we're going to copy and paste it here just to the back of our prompt and statement. Do Control V to paste that, and then we'll click as sending a message. So let's see what Claude is able to do with this data and the prompt or the request that we gave it. Okay, so very quickly, we are able to see, combined NAV going down 0.8 million during the quarter, net capital activity reduced, and what was the impact of that? And then what we're seeing here in the middle of this document is that, okay, driver to be confirmed. So that is exactly the behavior, what we're looking to see, that, hey, the guardrails that we put on this request are being enforced and honored. And now if we wanted to do some additional formatting to this data, we can certainly do that with different guidance that we could also give Claude or your AI tool of choice at this time. But I mean, so fast, it analyzed all the data and is giving meaningful information for you to review and send to your LPs as quickly as possible. So, okay, so what is AI and what is it not? So again, AI is fantastic for doing first drafts, be it letters, memos, commentary. It can spot patterns in different LP registers, capital accounts, cash flows, any kind of data that you can give it. It can extract information. Maybe you have very complex legal documentation. You want to pull a quick summary of side letter obligations, and it will do that very quickly for you. And you can also give AI guidance on how to match your tone. For example, I always tell my AI that I want things to be more brief, be more punchy. That's really something I learned in making PowerPoints. I want them to be punchy. They need to be really short and to the point. But what AI is not a calculator that you can trust blind. You need to verify the calculations. It can definitely make mistakes. It is not a rubber stamp. You should never use it as such, or a source of market facts. So you should not ask AI to go scour the internet. Most enterprise AIs won't even allow for that. It'll invent the data, no problem. What you want to use is your data sets you may already subscribe to from a reputable data provider, but it will glean amazing insights, and it will always require your judgment. No one understands the business and what you need to do better than yourself, so you need to be able to give it your input. And we're going to be going through some different use cases, some fund accounting, investor reporting, fundraising, portfolio management, and compliance, and we'll be going through one of these examples. So let's today then look at a distribution waterfall example. So this again is our sample data set and a transaction today. It's a Cedar Park portfolio sale, and these are the deal points as they are. And then this is our waterfall term section. So this one we have 4 different tiers. So the first one is a return of capital, 100% to LP. Then we have a pref return tier. It is 8% per annum, compounded annually on unreturned capital. We have a GP catch-up, so 100% to GP until they have received 20% of all the profit distributions. And then finally a carried interest, an 80-20 split after that. So this is the high-level deal terms, and it's in my Excel just in first tab. So then we have a second tab. So this would be that, okay, so based on that deal, we have an analyst, Joe, and Joe has made some calculations for us, and he has come up with these values, and hey, these are the figures now that we want to send to our fund administrator or our accounting team for processing. And we want to validate that, hey, does this look right or what's going on? So how we could do this with Claude or AI again would be, so we've created first a prompt, and our prompt here again kind of sets the stage at first. We're reviewing a distribution allocation before it goes to the fund administrator, and then these are the LPA terms, and so we're just saying, okay, what is the structure, and then what are the deal facts? And so the deal facts will come from our document that we will provide the model. And then below is an analyst prepared allocation. We want to recompute every tier to confirm the math. We want to see the math. If there are any discrepancies, please identify and produce the corrected allocation. And then the sanity check, okay, the new calculation that we're producing, does it match exactly 20% of the total profit distributions? So this is again what we're asking the AI to do. And so in the previous example, we cut and pasted just data into the prompt field. Here, what we're going to do is we're just going to take that whole Excel file and drop that into our chat. And now we're going to say, okay, we have our prompt and instructions. We have submitted our data, the terms and the actual calculations. And now we want to look and see what do we think about those calculations. So let's just wait and see here for a moment and see for that calculation to come through. Okay. And so we may have fast forwarded a little bit. It took a few minutes just to calculate this. And so, okay, so it looks like we have some issues with the numbers that we provided based on the deal terms. So let's see if we can get a corrected workbook and what does that look like. Okay, and so here we go, and we came back with the analysis from AI. So here on the left-hand side, we get a kind of a summary of the results, what we asked the AI to do. And then on the right-hand side, we have a document that it automatically created for us with some corrected results as well. So let's see what AI found for us. So yeah, do not send this to the admin. We found 3 errors and the GP was underpaid by 262,000. So I mean that's a material fee issue that we want to make sure we capture. So there was an error 1, tier 2 used simple interest, not compounded correctly. It caught up an error in the catch-up formula that the analyst had handled that incorrectly. And then, the error 3 is that the residual is then contaminated downstream. So because of those previous issues, then these final results were incorrect as well. So here is the corrected allocation. The sanity check, okay, passes exactly. So we come up to that 20% and we get the accurate calculation and the breakdown. Here in the document, we can also see that the AI auto created this whole document for us, and it has the final check here that yes, 20% looks great. So again, just incredible tool and a help for all teams out there to be able to point the AI at a given problem and just save incredible amounts of time for everyone. So hope that you enjoyed our example today, and we'll look at a different example next time. Thanks everyone for watching.